Okay. Today we will see complete a mapping and validate that mapping and export it to Power Center and run that mapping in IDQ. How to implement the business rules and how to complete the mapping and all those things we will see in this today's session. First, let me take all customer all customers. This is my or else let me take customer modify. All customer modify is my source. Okay, if we take this all customer modify, my business requirements are first one, customer customer ID should be number, should be digits and 8 length 8 character length. Next, first name and last name is actually in my source. First name and last name is a concat with the underscore. I want to i want to split that first name and last name as a individual attributes. F name and L name concated with underscore. It needs to split it as F name F name and L name. Next, 3, customer tire. Customer tire having a invalid 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 values, so need to replace with valid values. In my customer tire, actually invalid values are 1 2 3 because that is the business is saying that those are the invalid values. So the business wants to replace with one is a diamond, two is a gold, and three is a silver. 4 4 is, let me run this data. Yes, this is my source data. Okay, customer ID, we have a rule customer tire because these are the 2 and 1 2 3 are invalid values, so we want to replace with the valid values. Last name and first name, actually last name and first name is coming from this f name l name attribute. So we need to split it as a individual f name and l name. Company, I'm not doing anything. Address one also, I'm not doing anything. Address two. City. City. City also. Yes, city also, because it seems so good. No, I'm not doing anything. State, because I want to make a standardize the state, because some of the states are most of the states are two length characters and standard short form, and few of the things are full forms. No, so I want to state want to pass only two length characters. Example, New York, NW. Next, zip. I want to pass only 5 length digits. 5 length digits. Next, city, state, country, and preferred delivery method. This is I'm not considering to validate a country with a replace with a country having a different values. So I want to replace with a valid value. So now let's see. US. Yeah, few of the things u dot s dot, and so I want to replace with a valid values. Country also. State. My state is concatenating with a city, state, country. I want to split it as an individual. 6. City, state, and country is concatenating need to split it as individual. Okay, create date. Okay, that's okay. Currency USD by default, USD. Order amount, rest of the things I'm not validating. These are the attributes I am considering for a complete my mapping, and these are the requirements. So, and another requirement is 7. If customer id customer id is null, then reject the record and load it to reject section. 8. City. Anyhow, f name and l names are not coming as a nulls, so that's why I'm taking only city, state, and country. If all these three attributes are null, then reject 9. If any one of the above attributes in the above attributes any one of null, then send it to review, then send it to review section. 10. Okay. Mm, all standard, if not met, 7, 8, 9. Because if the records are not, the customer ID is populated and city, state and country are populated, then then send then send to match 11. This F name, L name, city, state, anyhow country is everything is a USA, so we no need to take a country. F name, L name, city, state. F name, L name, city, state, or take take it for matching. Okay, before to this, let me write a one more requirement. 11, take a first three characters from each attribute, each below attributes. Okay, what are the below attributes? F name, L name, city, state. Business is saying F, first three characters from first name, last name, city, state, or take it for a matching. If match score match score is 80, match score is 80, then match score 80, then send it to auto consolidation and load to standard output. Next 12, because next match score between 80 and 60, send it to duplicate review, send it to review and the duplicate exception. Okay, these are the my business requirements. These are my business requirements. I'm going to start a mapping and going to implement a one by one. Okay, let me get a mapping. All I will do all the requirements in a single mapping, and I will show you how to export that mapping to Power Center and how to run that in a Power Center, and how to run that mapping in a IDQ, how to deploy it as a application, and all those things. Today I will show you with this mapping, with these requirements. Let me start this mapping. project mapping, standardization, all customer standardization, standardization. Okay, finish. Okay, my source is all customer modify. My source is all customer modify. Take it as a read. Okay, customer ID, because in the requirement customer ID uh, should be a number and it's 8 length character. Add transformation. I'm taking a parser. It parses only a 8 length character. Token based. Finish. Customer ID is. I'm not going in depth how to writing a strategies and all those things, because already we discussed in our earlier sessions. So I'm not going to in depth into how to writing this all those things. Parser, customer ID, input. My input is customer ID. So next, token set. I'm writing a regular expression. Add number of output only one. Regular X is D. Length is 8. Slash D is slash D for digits. Okay, finish. Output. I'm creating a new output. Out customer ID. Yeah, 1 minute. Oh, just a minute. Okay. Okay. Customer ID. Next, I want to split it as a first name and last name. Customer tire. I want to parse a customer tire, a valid customer tire, because if it is a customer tire, already I have a implemented reusable maplet, reusable rule. I will use that. I will reuse that customer tire parse rule. Okay, customer tire. Just I'm passing to my maplet. Okay, now only nulls and now no 1 2 3s. Suppose if we want to replace with the nulls and empty strings, just we can write a a simple logic in a expression transformation. Next, first name and last name. First name and last name are concatenating. I want to split them is an individual. Go to parser, add a parser, f name and l name. Next, please keep remember, because this delimiter, when we are going to write our custom expression, this delimiter should be other than the actual delimiter. Suppose our actual delimiter is underscore, it should other than the underscore, because you should not underscore delimiter here. Delimiter should not underscore, you can put any other. Next, token set, write a regular expression, choose what I want to parse is add regex f name l name. My outputs are, number of outputs are 2. I'm writing a word followed by underscore and word. No, this is not right. Let me see. Finish. Outputs are f name and l name. Okay, finish. I'm splitting as a first name and last name and a single, so not parsed properly. Word. No, here also not parsed. Let me check. We have to write a proper regular expression. A to Z and capital A to Z plus underscore. Yes, now it is parsed because the only thing is we have to write a correct regular expression. Four attributes are populating. And next, what is the next requirement? First name, last name splitted. Customer tire is a valid parser, and state. I want to parse a state with the only two length characters. And state, I think already it is implemented. Yes, already I implemented a state and zip. Just I am reusing that rule. In rule actually in the mapping it will be converted as a maplet. State zip state parsing a state zip. Okay, state wants to parse only that's a zip. Till to here we completed. City, state, and country is a containing needs to split because all these three attributes are concatenating. We want to split them as an individual. I'm taking another parser transformation. Finish parser city state country. Strategies, did we input is city state, this is the input. Write a proper regular expression. Strategies, add a strategy. Parser city state and country. You can write anything, but just for our understanding, I'm writing a proper naming convention. Space. This delimiter is a pipe. So token set. Next, our custom regular expression. Add number name regex city. Next, my number of outputs are 3. Regular expression A to Z, A to Z. Plus means a stream of characters. Pipe what are these two? Sorry, here state we are parsed at 2 length characters, right? So again we no need to. Okay, what I will do is let me city, that's a fine. State, country. A to Z. City, state, country. Okay. Regex city, state. Okay. Outputs. City, state, country. Okay. Finish. Nothing has passed. Strategies. Let me modify the strategy. Need to put a plus and a 5 underscore. Here we missed a plus. Okay. Now let rerun it. Yes, now it's a parsing, and some of the thing is not parsing. Like, okay, write yourself as a proper regular expression. Then you will get a proper output. Anyhow, already it is a parsed. City, country. Country, I want to parse a valid values. Converting to valid values, already I have a city. Okay, already I have a rule for country. Replace a valid rule, country, replace a valids. Country. Okay, next, what other? Okay, till to here it is a completed. What other I need? Zip parsed, preferred delivery, country, city. This is a create date. Currency, I want always US dollar, because this is a state is a USA state, so that's why currency is, I'm hard coding that currency. Let's open properties, ports, currency, currency, USD. I'm hard coding as a USD. Okay. Okay, till to my cleansing and standardization part is almost completed. Next, currency order, misc date. Let it drag this also, misc date. Okay. Okay, this is a cleansing and standardization part is completed. After that, what is the requirement? If the customer ID is a null, then reject. And city, state, country, null. If all this city, state, country all are null, then reject that record. And in the above attributes, any of the null, either city, state, country, any of the null, just review it. If all are null, just send it to reject. And any one of the null, just send it to review. Now what I want to is, I'm taking a bad record exception transformation, bad record exception. Next, here define a threshold limits. Suppose lower threshold is a 40, upper threshold is a 90. If you want, we can modify, and also we can make a parameterize also. Just I'm leaving as is. Lower threshold limit. Lower threshold is a 40, upper threshold is a 90. These are the options. Good records. Above upper threshold. Standard output. Above upper threshold means, because of whatever all the records are, all the requirements are fulfilled, then pass it to a standard output. Bad records between bad records for a review section for between a 40 and 90, and below 40, then reject the records. Reject records below threshold limit. I'm creating a separate reject records for this table. Finish. Okay. Now what I want is data. These are all I want to pass it to data. Customer tire I want to pass, F name I want to pass, L name, state, zip, city, currency, status, misc date. Okay. These are the attributes I want to pass, and my here control. What is a control? Control is a score. Score we want to score. We need to define a score, and we need to evaluate, determine a score and pass it to this control section. And also, what are the attributes for our data quality? City, state, country. And customer ID also controls. Let me pass this score. Let me determine a score. Right. Ports. Score. Score is an integer. Okay, I'm writing a expression for determine a score. Evaluate the record quality. Decode true. So my customer ID is null. Is null of customer ID. Then I want to reject, because what is the requirement? If the customer ID is null, then reject. So if we want to reject, the score the score is below lower threshold limit. Our lower threshold limit is a 40, so I'm making a 35. And next, if city, state and country all are null, then reject. Is null, is null city and is null of state and is null of state country then all are null or empty string, then reject. That is also 35. Nothing, it's just like a power center power center condition. This we can write in a power center also. We is null. Next, I am placing a r instead of r. If all are null, then score is a 35. The 35 is a below lower threshold. Below lower threshold is a 40. So these two conditions will reject. This condition will send it to review, because any one of the null, then it is a send it to review, or else 95 above threshold limit. Validate. Okay, expression is a valid. Okay, score, pass it to score. Quality issue. Here we have a quality issues. What are the attributes we considering for a quality issue? State, city, city, state, city, state, country. These are the attributes we are considering for a quality issue. And customer id also considering for a quality issue. So save this mapping. If you run this exception transformation, a path that's exception transfer. Okay, we need to assign that quality issues. Ports configuration, generate a bad record table. I want to generate a bad. Are you sure? Yes. Connection start under start. I want to create a bad record table. This is for reject record tables. Bad all customer modify. bad all customer modify. These two records will create bad all customer modify and bad all customer issue. These are the this is the table for reject records. Okay, tables are created in a backend. Let me show you in SQL developer. Meanwhile, let's configure this issue assignment. Issue assignment. City is a city. State is a state. Country is a country. Customer ID is customer ID. Now save this. This is the table we created. Bad all customer modify. This is the table we created. Let me create another also. Create table 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 name reject reject all customer is created as a select star from bad all customer modify. I copied another table and I am creating all customer modify standard table also. I am creating a standard table also. Okay, now tables are ready. Yes, if you look into this, because all these sections are populated. If you look into look into standard output, the score is a 95 because whatever the attributes we defined all are populated. So that's why it is a score is a 95 and the standard output it populated standard output. These are the records. If you look into these records, is a any one of is a first name city state city out country. These are the populating as a null. So that's why for a review, if you look into a reject records, score is a 35 because of what is the issue. State is null, city is null, country is null. Because all these three attributes are null, so that's why the score is 35 and those records are rejected. We will see. We will connect to different flows. Standard output I will connect to match and bad records. Reject records I will connect to Let me import these tables. Relational tables. Connection is a cart. These are the tables I want. Uh, all customer modify, bad, uh, bad all customer modify, bad all customer modify issue, bonus, reject all customer modify. These are the records I want to import for my mapping. Okay, all our tables are imported. Reject records. I am connecting to reject records. Right. Now it is a not read. Right. Right means a target. O customer ID. Customer tire. F name. Last name. State. Zip. City. Country. Currency. Status. Misc date. Okay. Here score is left. Anyhow, row identifier is a decimal, so I'm connecting to row identifier. Okay. Now one is configured, and this is a for issue table. Bad all customer modify issue. Is that right? Okay. Issue force are row identifier, workflow ID. Okay. Now bad records. Bad all customer modify. row identifier, workflow ID, record status, review status, record status, review status. Oh, next order customer ID in customer tier. This whatever we left, those will be populated by some other process. I will show you that when we'll populate those. Currency, status, misc date. Okay, till we completed bad record exception and reject records, we are loading through this bad record exception and reject records and all those things. Now standard output. Standard output, I don't want to directly load into standard output because I want to, as per requirement, the standard output, all the good records wants to do match, and then the based upon the match score we need to loading into standard output. And quickly configure this match and all those things. Add key generator transformation. Okay, first I will take a match and connect from match. Sequence ID and group key. And next input, what are the input attributes? This should connect from a standard output because the good records will pass through standard outputs. O customer ID, customer tier, F name, last name, state, city, misc. This is I want to pass through key generator, and match consider attributes are state, first name, last name, city, state. Go to properties. This is for F name. Starting position 0, length 3. Okay, next first name. This is for last name. From which input? Last name. And this is also 3. I am taking a 3. Okay. And the next city. City also I am taking a 3 characters. From this is input for city. This is also for 3 characters. I am taking a 3 characters. And last one is a state. I want to state string. Okay, state, and this is for only we have a 2 characters, so 2 characters is enough. Okay, and key generator I connected to match, and what I want to pass, rest of all we need to pass to. Okay, in the match I am taking a bigram distance algorithm for my match. Go to match, configure, Ports, this is a fine. Match type, field match, single source, uh, strategies, background distance. Next, this is for first name, input first name, first name. Next, background distance. This is for last name. Next, input one is a last name one, last name two. Next, background distance. This is for a city. Next, city one, city two. Next, this is for a state. Next, state one, state two. Finish. I configured all. Custom background distance for match strategy. Background distance for F name, L name, and city state. I configured a match output. Threshold limit is a 0.6. I'm and taking a link score. Okay. Suppose next, because what is the requirement? Because suppose if above the score is above 90, go to requirement. If the score is a 80, then send it to auto consolidation and load it to standard output. The score is above 80, do a auto consolidation. The score between 80 and 60, go to duplicate record exception. Below the 60 means those are also unique, send it to a standard output. Okay, I'm taking a duplicate record, another exception transformation. That is a duplicate record exception. Earlier we took a bad record exception for a bad record analysis, and now I am taking for a duplicate record exception. Next, exception, duplicate, all customer. Next, here I am defining lower threshold. Lower threshold is a 0.60 and upper threshold is a 0.8. Lower threshold auto consolidation above upper threshold. Suppose if it is a score is a 0.8, then automatically send it to standard output, because no need to review by a business. Suppose between 0.8 and 6, business will do review and a manual consolidation. Duplicate record, unique records below lower threshold, standard output. I am sending this also. I am sending to standard outputs. Finish. Now data records. These are the data records. Data attributes. I am connecting to data. Okay, these are the records I passed to data. And if you see this controls it's expecting score, row identifier, cluster id, and pass it to score. We are getting here link score, so pass it to link score. Row identifier, here we are getting a row id, pass it to row identifier. Cluster id, here we are getting a cluster id, pass it to cluster id. Now here we have a two groups, cluster data and standard output. Automatic auto consolidation data will go to standard output, and cluster data will go to this battery. Cluster data between threshold, that data will go to this for the review. Let's take a standard output. Standard output table is all customer modify is my standard output. I think already I dragged that one. No, just drag the all customer modify. Right. Actually, we don't need this row identifiers and all those things. Standard output, wo customer to misc data. Okay, connected to standard output, auto consolidation. Next, this a cluster data, because let go to properties and create a generate duplicate record table. Connections cart. Okay. Resource duplicate. All customer. Duplicate all customer modify. Finish. I think we get some issue. Let's save the mapping. Validate the mapping. Invalid clog, because I have something. Exception transformation duplicate customer require at least one connected unique records output port. Yes, because it is expecting connected this section. Standard output we connected, and oh, unique also we have a unique also we configured like this. Duplicate exception, go to properties, configuration, unique records also below the standard output. Duplicate all customer modify. Error occurred creating database. Name is already by an existing object. Okay, because I think already table is created with this duplicate all customer modify. So just import, I will import that. Just let me refresh this. Yes, a duplicate all customer modify has created. So just I will import that table. Duplicate all customer modify. Okay, finish. I imported a duplicate customer modify. Just let me go to mapping. Cluster data, pass it to that group. Row identifier, sequential ID, cluster ID, match score is master, workflow ID, all this. Okay, and this is a duplicate record section. And next, unique records. Unique records, we are sending the same to a standard output, right? Just a standard output, bad all customer modify. This is a standard output and also connected to. I think some issue. Let me close it and reopen this tool. Connected to repository. Let me open that mapping. M data stand all customer standardization. I think some issue in maximizing this. Okay, let me scroll. Just let me complete with this connection with this score. Even we don't want all this. Just I'm connecting to customer ID actual attributes. Yes, I connected all the targets. I completed mapping with all the requirements fulfilling. Just let me validate this mapping. Just validate. Once it is a completed a mapping, no problems found. Just arrange all iconic. I think seems some issue in this showing icons. Let me having some issue. So this is the mapping is completed in IDQ. Tomorrow we will see in the next session we will see how to export this mapping to Power Center and all those things. Just validate this mapping. Just no problems found. The mapping is valid. In the next session we will see how to export this mapping to Power Center and how to run this in IDQ and all those things.